Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about my Plumeria plant. This is plant, as you see, this is Plumeria. This plant is very easy to grow. This is tropical plant and it can grow even in the areas that gets cold very fast if you keep it in the house, as me. We have more cold seasons than hot seasons. I live in Missouri State and our zone is 6 and 7. How I take care of my Plumeria? Well, in spring, when nights start getting 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I take this plant outside. And there it starts growing new leaves. It awakes from the dormancy. At that time, as they say, we can propagate this plant. They say in order to propagate, we have to cut this plant maximum 20 inches as 50 centimeters and minimum 10 inches, which is 25 centimeters. And we have to cut from major woody part, but having a grayish sheen to it, like this part. From this kind of part we can cut this Plumeria and put to propagate. If we cut from the green part, they say this plant will not root. But I tried to propagate this Plumeria any time of the year, from any size, even from this kind small size, which is green. They say it will not root if you plant this kind of green. If you cut from green part and you put to propagate, it will not root, it will decay, but it's not true. From any size, any time of the year, you can propagate this plant. I did it many times. And every time I ended up having success. I have small kids and they like to play around my plant with their toys, especially here, digging my Plumeria pot. Sometimes they break its branches. And what I do that time, I immediately plant that broken branch, no matter what time of the year or what size it is. This way I made from one Plumeria plant many Plumerias. This one I propagated last year and I took video about it. You can watch it by clicking the link in the description below. When I brought it in the house, it started growing flower spike here. These two Plumerias I propagated last year and I did video about that. From here it started growing a new flower spike when I took it in the house. But spider mites at this plant I didn't see. Before taking it in the house, you have to spray insecticide and check it thoroughly if it has something. But that time when I was taking this plant in the house, I didn't notice that it has some bugs in it. And when it started growing its flower spike, spider mites, they ate that flower spike and that flower spike dropped. This plant, you know, the insects, they love this plant. because Plumeria has sweet juice, and that juice look like milk. Here, now I was taking this plant here to put here and make video, and I accidentally touched the fan. Fan was working in my kitchen, and it broke this upper leaves, and it started bleeding. And this juice, it looked like milk, and the insects like this juice from this plant. Probably it's so sweet. When it's outside, you have to check if there is insects in the petiole of the leaf and spray with insecticides. Otherwise, insects lay their eggs and suck its juice, and the leaves will get yellow and fall. Insects like laying their eggs here, where the leaf starts, here in this place. Every leaf you have to check, and they lay their eggs and they suck the juice from the leaf, and these leaves, they fall. When the night starts getting below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, I take this plant inside in the house, and I have to put it in cooler and darker place, or in basement. In our area, this Plumeria starts growing its flower buds at that time, where when that plant needs to go to the dormancy. This way, Plumeria doesn't have enough time to grow its buds and bloom. This year, what I did is that I took my Plumeria into the house. The time it just started showing its flower spike. Instead of putting it in the dark and cool room, I put it in my living room, which is here in this room. As you see, I put it by the window, and here is bright and warm. I have here heater, it's running, and it's not bothering the plant. Usually plants don't like to be in this kind of place. I thought that after this Plumeria finished blooming, I would put it in the dark and cold room, but now you see that it started growing another flower spike. This spike. And there is no time to put it to sleep. What I learned from this, that if I want to see the blooming of my Plumeria, I have to put it in warm and bright place. Unlike other flowers, Plumeria can grow and bloom in the house during the winter. When you take this plant in the house, it might drop some of its leaves from shock, and then later it will grow new leaves. As you see, right now it's doing great, and I highly recommend you to grow this plant because it has beautiful, gorgeous flowers with the fragrance of a delicate perfume. You can't stop smelling these flowers and never get full from its fragrance. Super easy to care. It even doesn't care if someone bothers it every day. Even my kids, they like digging the pot and play here with their toys. They even planted one of their toys here, and they planted flowers in this pot. They bother its roots every single day. But still, do you see how happy this plant is? And in the corner, I have my azalea, which my husband bought for me from Florida when we were in vacation there. When I brought this plant to my house, I didn't have time to plant it outside. I didn't know where to plant. I couldn't decide where to plant it because I have other plumerias in front yard. And then it started getting cold. The days started getting cold, and what I did, I brought this plant with its nursery pot. It's still in that pot. I brought it in the house, and now you see it's very happy. First it started drying its leaves, and then it started doing great, and you see that it has beautiful flowers. It's very happy. It's winter outside today. Today 27th of January, I think. 27th of January 2019, and outside is winter, and in my house it's spring. Now I'm leaving pictures from my plumeria and my other plants, my orchids. Please watch and enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Bye. Happy gardening. See you next time.